We are facing a truth that history books haven't told us, that official records have hidden, and that modern archaeology denies 9-meter-tall colossal humans who lived among us until the mid-1800s, but then suddenly vanished from the pages of history. These beings, called the Lost Guardians, were not ordinary biological anomalies or intriguing circus figures. According to sources, they were the ruling class, technological operators, and protectors of social order of the lost Tartarian civilization. But did these colossal individuals truly exist? If so, why did they disappear so abruptly around 1850? And what does this loss mean for modern humanity? When we look at the massive structures still standing today, the unexplainable architectural details, and the systematically hidden photographs, perhaps the answer is right before our eyes. When you examine the photographic archives of the 1800s, you face a truth that official history hasn't told you. People 7, 8, or even 9 feet tall, approximately 2.5 to 3.5 meters in height, standing, working, and living in the heart of daily life, in ordinary clothes alongside normal-sized people. The individuals in these photographs are not later additions or fake displays. These are original prints from glass negatives of the era, showing these colossal humans on street corners, at construction sites, and at official ceremonies. However, the most intriguing point is that these individuals are not presented as freaks exhibited in circus shows, but rather appear as respected members of society with authority, occupying leadership positions. In some photographs, normal-sized people standing beside them definitively reveal their scale, and this comparison immediately shows what kind of biological difference we're dealing with. So were these giants merely biological aberrations, or were they part of a functional class? According to sources, the second option makes much more sense because these colossal individuals were an operator caste that could operate the technological infrastructure of the Tartarian civilization, understanding and managing complex systems. When you visit historical structures still standing today, especially old government buildings, courthouses, grand cathedrals, and architectural works from before the 1800s, an oddity immediately catches your eye. The doors are much larger than normal, with interior doors 4 to 5 meters high, completely contrary to standard human scale. The staircases have massive steps. Each step rises nearly to a normal person's knee level and cannot be climbed comfortably. The furniture and seating arrangements are a complete puzzle. Chairs with 36-inch seat heights, massive tables, unusually sized cabinets and shelves. When modern humans enter these structures, they feel small, inadequate, and as if they don't belong in these spaces because these structures truly were not built for us, but for a much larger human form. The architectural compatibility argument comes into play here. If these buildings had been made for ordinary people, why would they have such impractical and unusable dimensions? The answer is simple. Because those who use these structures weren't us. They were the guardians. The tools found at construction sites and demolition areas are another piece of evidence strengthening this hypothesis. Massive wrenches, hammers, vices, and levers weighing hundreds of kilograms of a size and weight that a normal human could never use. The existence of these tools requires a simple explanation. Either we accept that this civilization worked using advanced technology with machines similar to today's cranes, or we accept the existence of colossal operators with the physical strength and gripping ability to use these tools. According to the picture history presents us, modern crane technology didn't exist yet in the 1800s, so only one option remains. It was the giants who used these tools. So why and how did these giants disappear? The answer to this question is directly related to a global catastrophe called the Mud Flood, or Mud Flood in sources, claimed to have occurred in the mid-1850s. This event was not just a natural disaster, but also a transition point between civilizations, a critical moment when knowledge transmission was cut off and a new world order was established. As the only group capable of operating Tartaria's complex technology, the giants managed atmospheric electricity systems, harmonic resonance mechanisms, and energy production methods whose meanings we cannot even grasp today. This knowledge was not written in books. It was embodied knowledge, a form of knowledge passed down through generations, learned through experience, and supported by physical capabilities. After the flood, when these operators disappeared, the massive buildings suddenly became non-functional. Structures that once produced energy, provided communication, and maintained social order now became merely impressive but meaningless architectural works. When we look at them today, we see only beautiful buildings. But once these were machines, functional, living, and active systems. Without operators, these machines were converted by later generations into museums, churches, and ceremonial spaces, because no one knew anymore what they were used for. But was the disappearance of the giants solely the result of a natural disaster? Many sources claim this was part of a systematic erasure operation. While photographs of giants were relatively abundant between 1850 and 1900, after 1900 such images suddenly cease, vanishing as if they never existed. This sharp transition is interpreted as a sign of a planned cover-up operation. Official institutions like the Smithsonian Institute are claimed to have lost hundreds of giant skeletons or completely denied their existence. Encyclopedias were rewritten, maps were redrawn to erase Tartaria, and history books were transformed into the version we know today. Photographic manipulation is also an important part of this process. Giants, clearly visible in original glass negatives, were reduced to normal sizes in later prints by cropping, scaling, or complete removal. This is not merely a technical intervention, but an effort to alter historical reality. So why? Why would a civilization systematically erase from history its own ancestors, the true builders of its own architecture? The answer relates to the legitimacy of the newly established world order. If the post-1850 rulers wanted to present the massive structures, advanced technology, and architectural genius they inherited as their own achievements, they had to erase the true owners and operators of these structures from history. Otherwise, the foundations of modern civilization could be questioned, the authorities' story could collapse, and people could face the true face of the past. Therefore, the giants were eliminated not only physically, but also historically. Their memories were erased, their records were destroyed, and their existence was turned into legends and made unbelievable. In conclusion, the 9-meter guardians were not just a missing link in human history, but the active, conscious, and skilled operators of the buried civilization lying beneath our feet. Their loss in 1850 caused modern humans to become orphaned regarding their own past, and to believe that the massive technological heritage was made with simple hand tools. The historical structures we look at today are perhaps silently crying out to us. We were not built for you, we were built for others, and they are no more. Seeing this truth requires us to question everything we know about history and ourselves. These massive buildings, which we admire as architectural masterpieces, were once functional machines operated by beings far larger and more capable than us. The technology embedded in these structures, the atmospheric energy systems, the harmonic resonance capabilities, the advanced engineering, all became mysteries when their operators vanished. Modern humanity inherited these incredible structures, but lost the knowledge of how they truly function. We converted power stations into museums, energy facilities into churches, and operational centers into tourist attractions, all while being completely unaware of their original purposes. The giants possessed embodied knowledge that couldn't be written down or preserved in books. It was in their very being, in their size, their strength, their understanding of the systems they operated. When they vanished, that knowledge vanished with them, leaving us with beautiful but inexplicable monuments. Today, we attribute the construction of these marvels to primitive civilizations using simple tools, bronze chisels, and wooden scaffolding. This explanation requires us to believe that people with average human strength and size somehow moved multi-ton stone blocks, carved them with precision that modern laser cutting barely achieves, and assembled them into structures that have stood for centuries. But if we accept the existence of the guardians, beings with the physical capability and technical knowledge to operate advanced systems, suddenly these impossible achievements become entirely logical. The evidence is everywhere, hiding in plain sight. The oversized doors that make us feel small, the massive staircases we struggle to climb, the impossible tools we find in archaeological digs, the photographs that were systematically suppressed, The skeletons that disappeared into institutional vaults, the sudden silence after 1850. All of it points to one conclusion. We are living among the ruins of a civilization we didn't build, operated by beings we've been taught never existed. The Lost Guardians were real. They built our world, and then they were erased, both from the earth and from our memory. The question now is, will we continue to accept the official story, or will we open our eyes to the truth that's been hidden beneath our feet all along?